Hello everyone, welcome to the Ichimoku.co daily FX market review for the trading day ending Wednesday, November 25th. Firstly to the euro US dollar, and here we see the market forming another spinning top type candle at the end of this very significant downtrend. It denotes indecision in the market, and here we have a market that's attempted to rally but finding resistance above 106.63 and importantly at the Tenkan-sen indicator, and we have seen the buyers lose commitment up there, and also the sellers losing commitment down below this area below 106.24 down to the lows here about 105.66. The price rejection to the downside from the downside has been quite strong, the price rejection to the upside here, and it does suggest that neither the buyers nor the sellers are terribly strong in this market. But importantly, we do have a bearish market in all three time frames by trading below the Ichimoku cloud, the Kijun-sen and the Tenkan-sen. In terms of this being the third consecutive indecisive candle, it does suggest that the market is set up for a potential change of trend, but what we're seeing is that the buyers aren't taking that opportunity. They're not strong enough to change the trend, and that does raise some doubt about whether we are going to see the market trade to higher levels. There is an opportunity here for the sellers to trade lower, and if the sellers do come into the market quite strongly, we could easily see a test down to the 105.21 level. Importantly, for the next day's trading, we should be watching 106.63 previous support and resistance, and also with the Tenkan-sen trading around that level, it does strengthen the potential resistance around that area. Moving to the euro US dollar on the hourly charts, and here we saw the market rally through the Ichimoku cloud until about halfway through the today's session. We then saw the market trade through the first pivot point resistance level, a lack of follow through, it didn't see it attain the second, and then we saw some very strong selling coming in with a solid bearish breakout down below the cloud and some strong follow through to trade through the second pivot point support level. Rally then off that level saw the market find resistance around the bottom of the Ichimoku cloud, and at the moment in this new session we are trading down below the middle pivot point level and below the Ichimoku cloud and the Kijun-sen, and this suggests that if we do see any solid selling coming into the market, there is a good likelihood of us testing down to the first pivot point support level around 105.65. The area around the Kijun-sen should continue to be watched as very solid resistance, with the middle pivot point level around there and the Ichimoku cloud just above. The buyers are going to have to be very solid to change this overall longer term time frame downtrend that we have in this market. However, as we trade further into the trading day, there is an opportunity here where the Ichimoku cloud is quite thin. So after about halfway through the trading day and up until the last couple of hours, the opportunity is there for the buyers if they are strong enough. So we will be watching that period very closely for a potential change of trend in that longer term time frame. To the US dollar Japanese yen, and here we see a continuation of the trend to the downside today, and formation of a weak indecisive spinning top type candle does suggest that there is potential for a change of trend. For the second consecutive day we've seen support coming in at 122.47, and this was an area where the market tested below and we've seen strong buying coming in, so watching that area very closely. If we do see a strong bearish close down below there, we could end up trading two lower levels, firstly 122.12 and then down to the 121.82 level. The formation of an indecisive candle here in a downtrend does suggest there is potential for a change of trend to the upside, but watching the area around 123, it has been a previous area of strong resistance, and with the Tenkan-sen trading around that area, it does strengthen the potential resistance in that region. We also have a potential bullish harami pattern, and that's where we have a downtrend in place. It is a minor downtrend, only a couple of candles, but we do have the white body here within the body of the previous black body, and we would require confirmation of that change of trend, so looking for a potential higher high and higher low. To the hourly charts with the US dollar, Japanese yen, and here we saw the market trade off early in the session and has closed, finding very strong support around the first pivot point support level, rallying up through the Ichimoku cloud to find resistance at the first pivot point resistance level, and then selling off and finding support around the middle of the level and trading within the cloud for the remainder of the day. By trading within the cloud, and that's where we've seen the market trade in this new session, we do have a neutral market in big picture terms, and we do need to wait for the market to break out in either direction to determine our overall direction that we will be trading in a shorter term time frame. If we do see the market breach down through the bottom of the cloud, it may be a significant move. What we'd like to see is a strong bearish breakout and bearish follow through, and with the Kijun-sen trading around that area, it does suggest that the potential resistance there is quite strong, so we may not see that occur. But if we do see that, there is good potential for the market to at least test to the first pivot point support level, 122.34, perhaps even to the second around 121.97. By the same token, a bullish breakout above the top of the cloud could easily see the first pivot point resistance level around 123 tested. And to the Aussie dollar US dollar, and the candle we're analysing is the second last one on the chart, and here we see formation of a very weak indecisive doji candle at the end of a fairly strong uptrend, finding resistance at previous important area 72.76, but also support coming in at 72.34, and that's why we have an indecisive candle. Also, there is no body to this candle, and it suggests that net momentum, which was previously strongly to the upside, has dried up, and it has suggested very good potential for a change of trend, and we actually have seen that confirmed already in this new session very, very quickly, confirming with a lower high and a lower low. Now, the problem here for the sellers was always going to be the top of the Ichimoku cloud to hold a support, and that's what we're seeing at the moment. So we should continue to watch that area, and also the area around 72.06, which may act as support, and also 72.34, and we are seeing the market being rejected just slightly from that area. To the hourly chart with the Aussie dollar US dollar, and here early in the trading session has completed, we saw the market rallying quite strongly to trade up to the first pivot point resistance level, 72.83 was the extent of the move. We then sold off, and the market was looking a little overextended in the depth away from the cloud. We sold off to find support around the middle pivot point level, and for the remainder of the day it rallied to find resistance around the Kijun-sen. In this new session it has started, we see the market selling off early and finding support down around the bottom of the Ichimoku cloud. That is going to be an important level. If we do see a bearish breakout, we could easily see the first pivot point, the second pivot point level tested, 72 cents round number. Should be fairly strong support coming in there. And if we breach down through there in a strong bearish manner, we could see the Aussie dollar testing down to the 71.45 third level. Any strong rally off of this area has to trade up through the middle pivot point level, 72.27, then through the Tenkan-sen and the top of the Ichimoku cloud around the same area, strengthening their resistance there about 72.40, and then the Kijun-sen trading up about the 72.50 level, which coincides roughly with the area around the middle pivot point level. So the buyers are going to have to be very, very strong if they are going to trade the market to higher levels, and this suggests that with that strong selling coming in, if we do breach down through the cloud with some follow through, we could easily see this market sell off in a major way, at least down to and through the 72 cent level. Next to cable, the British pound US dollar, and here we've seen some buying coming into this market today. Solid support coming in at 150.53, but resistance coming in at 151.34. We have seen the buyers take control of the market and suggesting good potential for a change of trend to the upside, but we have seen a small loss of commitment by the buyers at 151.34, so that is an area that we do need to watch very, very closely, and a bullish move above there could easily see the market test to 151.68. Two potential types of Japanese candlestick reversals here. Firstly, a tweezer's bottom, and we do require confirmation, so we're looking for a higher high and a higher low to confirm, and also a bullish harami pattern, so confirmation required. But if we do see the market test up through these levels in a bullish manner, easily 151.68, potentially up to the Tenkan-sen resistance at 151.94. into the hourly charts with cable, and here we see continued bearish activity for today's session down below the Ichimoku cloud, suggesting a very strong negative market in the longer term time frame. At the moment, however, and in the last few hours of the session that closed, the market transitioned into a neutral phase in the longer term time frame by trading within the cloud, and this suggests that there is an opportunity here eventually for the market to transition into a long term bull phase by trading outside of the cloud. There is potentially strong support down around the bottom of the cloud in the next couple of hours around 151, with the middle pivot point level and the Tenkan-sen trading very close to that region. Just below there we also have the Kijun-sen trading at 150.94, so the sellers are going to have to be very strong if they are going to trade further to the downside. If they do, we could see the first pivot point support level 150.76 tested. Any rally is likely to find very strong resistance around the top of the Ichimoku cloud, which is very close to the first pivot point resistance level around the 150-150 region, and a solid bullish breakout up above this region could easily see the second pivot point resistance level around 150-180 tested.